jumping against Melvin Eli. Eli should win this tip.
This is what you call a defensive lineup for UOP. They had everyone on their half of the court giving up the tip. And they go to a half-court trap right away. They're playing a match. It looks like a box-and-1 on Alexander. There you can see that David is staying with Alexander.
And Alexander hits the fall away. 2-0 Fresno State.
And that's the problem that Davis is going to have. He's much shorter than Courtney Alexander. And that time he got at the ball and just rose up over him. Bulldogs start man-to-man.
Davis listed as 6'2". Bulldogs not letting Pacific get what it wants, but the Tigers will be very patient on offense. Heiser with the outside shot. A whistle on play. The foul is going to be called. I believe it's going to be on Pacific.
You know, Ralph, that was an interesting possession. It was actually a good defensive possession for the Bulldogs, and it was a good offensive possession for Pacific. They got the shot they wanted. They shot with about 5 on the clock, but the Bulldogs played pretty good defense for the first 30 seconds and rebounded the miss.
Foul was on Barry Maldo. Roberson for 3. Long rebound, tapped by Alexander, and a foul on Alexander. They're going to say he had a hold of Heiser.
I don't think Jerry was too thrilled with that shot, not because it wasn't a good one, but because it came so quickly.
Masters looking inside. He'll kick it out to Marvel. To Masters. That's a three-pointer. Marvel took the rebound, but it comes off to Alexander. Still 2-0 Fresno State. And Alexander will fire for 3. That's no good. Rebound comes off to Hahn. Heiser. Eli with the rebound.
That's the shot they want. They got 3 open looks at the basket, haven't hit any of them.
Alexander has the only basket of the game.
And UOP is back man-to-man right now.
Eli double team, gets it to Porter for a 3. Is good.
And Porter's the guy that's going to get those shots because a lot of people like to double team Melvin Eli down low, and they don't want to leave Terrence Roberson or Courtney Alexander. So consequently, Demetrius Porter ends up some open looks.
Porter hounding Davis. He gets it off to Marvel. Eli playing out high on Hahn.
That's some pretty good defense for a guy 6'9", 25 feet from the basket.
Shot clock at 8. Marvel throws up a wild shot. Rebound by Roberson. 2-on-1. Alexander gets it to Porter. Lays it up and in. 7-0 Fresno State. Timeout Pacific.
That was a nice fast break. They got the ball, got it out nicely, threw the thing up the floor, gave the ball to Demetrius unselfishly, and he laid it in with his left hand.
Bulldogs off to a fast start. We'll be right back.
Bothered by all the red stuff dripping off Carl's Jr. burgers? Try the green stuff. The new guacamole bacon cheeseburger, only at Carl's Jr.
When Eddie gets the blues,
he's not even sniffing stuff.
Welcome news to Mrs. Frobisher in 13B.
And no one has the cure.
Did you ever see anything sadder than this?
No, I can't say that I have.
It's time to call in a specialist.
I always enjoy being in the company of colleagues. I'm sorry, did you say colleagues or collies?
But who really needs his head examined?
You give a dog an hour, you can bill him for 7.
On Frazier.
Sunday night at 6 on Fox 26.
You shouldn't have to overpay just because you're a big or tall size. After all, life's unfair enough as it is.
The Men's Warehouse.
You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Bulldog basketball
Baseball on Fox 26 is brought to you in part by the Egg Zone, by Carl's Jr., Big Juicy Burgers, and get into your Northern California Chrysler Plymouth dealer. It's the new place to be and the only place to buy.
No, this is not Selland Arena, but look at the red wave. Fresno State well represented at Spanish Center. Several busloads of fans made the trip up from Fresno. And they've seen the Bulldogs get off to a fast 7-0 start in the first 3 minutes.
Pacific always comes out of a timeout with a set play.
Masters finds an opening, lays it up and in. The Tigers are on the board. 7-2 Bulldog lead.
And they go to a three-quarter court zone press and trap.
Bulldogs do a good job getting it to the front court. Nice pass to Abney from Roberson, and Larry Abney converts. He's on the board. 9-2 Bulldogs.
The spacing was very good there. They hit the ball to Courtney Alexander. He got trapped, but he's big enough to see over it. They reversed the ball and got Larry about a 7-footer. Looks like Davis is hobbling for Pacific.
Tigers usually a pretty good shooting team, but misfiring on 5 of 6.
And I see Clay McKnight at the scorer's table, so that answers one question.
On hits from the free throw line.
There were 4 seconds on the shot clock when they took it. That's their philosophy, is run the clock down, make people play defense, set all those screens, and maybe it'll wear on them by the end of the game. Now they're back zone. They're going to be changing defenses all night.
Eli, hook, in. Melvin Eli with the right-hand hook. 11-4 Fresno State.
And that's really a tough matchup for Mike Hahn. He ended up being one-on-one with Eli, and he just went up over him.
Back at the other end, Fresno State continuing to play aggressive defense. Eisner. Marvin backing in on Alexander. Puts it up and in. Just muscled it up.
Yeah, and, you know, both teams are doing pretty much what they want. I mean, the Bulldogs are defending, but they're not getting many deflections. Pacific is patient, moving the ball, setting screens, wearing them down, and ending up shooting under 5 on a shot clock and knocking it down. Jerry calls a 30 to try to, I think, work on probably defending those ball screens better, meaning the dribbler who's screening and handing the ball off.
Demetrius Porter leads Fresno State with 5 points. Abney, Alexander, and Eli have 2 apiece. 11-6 Fresno State leading. Just under 15 minutes remaining here in the first half.
And I think what UOP was doing, they're changing defenses, and I think it might be, it's a little too early to tell, but it might be they're going zone on made shots by them and back to man-to-man on misses.
Porter, normally the assist man, leading in point production so far. And they lay up off the break in the three-pointer.
And they're back man here.
Alexander, that's way off.
And a quick shot.
Out of bounds. Let's say it's last touched by Fresno State. Or last touch by Pacific, so it'll be Fresno State ball, but a timeout on the floor with 14:39 remaining, and Fresno State leading this one 11-6.
Guy's got a burger.
Cool. It's a Carl's burger.
It's that new sourdough burger.
The new crunchy charbroiled sourdough bacon cheeseburger. It's just what you've been waiting for.
Is that what we're waiting for?
New at Carl's Jr.
The beautiful fruit.
Fire Power Hemi is a powerful competitive engine.
Chrysler unleashes its newest engine.
Even now, we are working on new engineering marvels for future 300s.
Chrysler 300M with a 253 horsepower V6, the most powerful sports sedan in its class.
A hard-boiled piece of automotive engineering.
See your Northern California Chrysler and Plymouth dealer. The new place to be, the only place to buy.
Sunday night at 7:30, it's Y2 Chaos at the Hill household on King of the Hill following World's Funniest. Then at 8, the school children in Springfield become Christmas elves on The Simpsons, followed by Futurama and The X-Files at 9 on KMPH Fox 26. Back at Spanish Center in Stockton on the campus of University of Pacific, Fresno State with an 11-6 lead over the Tigers. 14:39 remaining in the first half. Ralph Wood along with Jack Fertig. Happy to be able to bring this one to you on a Bulldog Sports Saturday. Of course, many of you tuning in after watching the Fresno State football team lose a tough one to Utah in the Las Vegas Bowl. Bulldogs still have the same starting five in there. Eli facing the basket, and he turns, spins left-handed to beat the buzzer, and didn't do it. Shot clock violation gives it to Pacific. 11-6 Fresno State lead.
And Melvin tried to go to the left there and just made a tougher shot than really the one he had.
Both McKnight and Preston, the two leading scorers, are in after not starting. A whistle inside, and the foul is going to be called on Fresno State. Melvin Eli picks up his first.
That's one of the favorite things that Pacific does. They bring the ball to one side of the floor, run McKnight, their shooter, off a double screen, give him the ball, and then try to duck in on the opposite side of the floor, their big center Preston.
McKnight to inbound. This is Davis being hounded by Porter. McKnight pops out above the three-point line. Rebounded by Hahn in traffic. Can't get it to go. Battles for it. Preston comes up with the rebound.
And that's a bad omen for the Bulldogs. They give up a lot of offensive rebounds, and UOP only averages 12 a game.
Abney went for the steal and collision with Hahn. No whistle. And then it's Porter with a steal. Back the other way. Porter with a crossover dribble throws it up. No good. Another whistle. And we got a foul at this end on the rebound by Fresno State. I believe that's Larry Abney.
That was a tough decision by Demetrius. He tried to force the action, come in here. Not that bad, because normally if you miss that shot, one of your two trailers is going to tip it in. But I think he might have been able to lay it back. I think if he had it again, he probably would have.
Abney crashing in from behind, picks up the foul. Still 11-6 Fresno State. Nathan Davis, bounce pass inside, out of bounds. Turnover by Pacific. It'll be Bulldog basketball.
And when Davis comes off that screen, normally he's going to pass. He's only shooting 19% from the floor. He's only taken 21 shots in 6 games. He's more of a pass first, shoot second, or maybe pass first and second, shoot third.
Barry Marvel back in the game for Pacific. Roberson. Rebound Preston.
That was an early shot, but I think a lot better because he got into the paint on it.
McKnight last year against Fresno State, a career-high 31 points, a school record 9 three-pointers. He's popped open across this side of the court, and then they turn it over on the other side of the floor as Marvel can't handle it.
And I'll tell you something, Robert. In this game, the guys who play earn their scholarships, because if you're Pacific, you have to set a lot of screens, you have to run around a lot, you have to execute, and if you're the opponent, in this case Fresno State, you have to fight 2 screens. These guys are going to be sore tomorrow.
Three early turnovers for the Tigers. Alexander, the two-pointer. Rebound. Abney puts it up off the glass and misses. Preston comes off with it for Pacific. Still 11-6 Bulldogs, approaching 12 minutes left. McKnight 3. Short, up and over and out. Fresno State ball.
I think Clay McKnights might have missed more shots in those 2 threes that he's missed today than he missed in the entire game in Fresno last week.
Well, wait till he gets to the free throw line.
Yeah, at the free throw line this year, he's 18 for 18 for obviously 100%. Last year, he was 49 for 52. So over the last 2 years, he's 67 for 70.
Nick Irvin into the game for Fresno State along with Noel Felix. Alexander in traffic. Dumps it off to Roberson off the glass. That's no good. Tim Cocker with the rebound.
The Dogs are getting some good shots.
McKnight for three. Had a wide open look and hits it.
Yeah, and that's the only time that Pacific will shoot early. They shot early the last time down when they had a fast break, got three for Clay McKnight, and they did it again there.
Urban, double team, has to throw it out. And that's going to be a backcourt violation.
You know, Nick got himself in trouble there when he drove baseline. Didn't have much to do once he got there.
Got double teamed and couldn't get out of trouble. It'll be Pacific ball when we come back. The Tigers down by 2. First, the men's basketball team takes on Wagner. First, the men's basketball team takes on Wagner in the first game of the Trend Homes Classic. That action starts at 5:30 when Norfolk State takes on Cornell. Then your Fresno State Bulldogs tip off at 8. Consolation and championship games will be played Wednesday at 5:30 and 8 p.m. respectively this week in Bulldog Sports. Brought to you by AT&T Wireless Services. Bradley, the opponent for Fresno State, coming up on Monday, was here in the first part of a doubleheader tonight. And, beaten soundly by Pacific.
Yeah, when we walked in, I think the score was about 40-11, and I believe Pacific ended up winning that game by around 30.
Nick Irvin had a career-high 12 assists against University of San Francisco. He's in now for Demetrius Porter. Heiser looking to get it inside to Preston. He can't do it. Tom Cockle for three. That's no good. That would have given him the lead.
That was a little deep.
Urban drops it off to Alexander. Fans think he may have traveled. Urban for three. Rebound comes off to Marvel.
UOP does an excellent job of blocking out.
McKnight's going to be short.
Yeah, that was a little deep, too. The Bulldogs are doing a pretty good job of forcing UOP a little farther out on the floor.
Urban, the lob, Alexander. Rattled it in. Courtney Alexander has 4. 13-9, Fresno State lead. Steal, Noel Felix. Taking it all the way, and he's fouled as he went up by Heiser. Noel Felix will go to the free throw line, shooting 2.
That was a great job by Noel. I know that he was sitting on the side. He's paying attention to the scouting report, talking with the assistant coaches, and talked about how they wanted to initiate the ball to his guy, and he anticipated it, got out, stole the thing, and you can see that, except for the fact that Heiser did make a play on the ball, that would have been an intentional foul.
Noel Felix is 44% from the line this season. Gets the first one to roll over the front edge of the rim and in. Substitutions for the Bulldogs. Abney and Roberson go out. Melvin Eli and Travis DeManda come in. Felix, the freshman out of Inglewood. That one's in and out, so he makes one of the two. It's 14-9, Fresno State approaching the midway point here in the first half. McKnight thought about it. Heiser kicks it out to McKnight. Falls down, controls the dribble. Well, that's an ender. Went over the top of him trying to get it.
That's an automatic travel. As soon as you hit the floor, it's an automatic travel.
Marvel for 3. 2 Bulldogs battle for it. Alexander comes away with it. 14-9, Fresno State leading. Noel Felix, the intended receiver on the play, poked away from behind by Preston. This is Nathan Davis. A whistle inside, and there'll be a foul on Melvin Eli, who is holding his right shin.
Which is not the shin that's hurt.
It is now.
Now you can see they just got tangled up as Melvin flashed across the lane to try to beat that post up.
Eli will go to the bench with 2 fouls. Heiser to inbound. This is Masters. Davis looking inside. Has to kick it outside. Here's a mismatch. Irvin against Hahn.
Bulldogs are doing a lot of switching, and that's what's causing it.
And a holding foul on Travis Demandi.
And Jerry Tarkanian says why. He's 25, 27 feet from the basket. There's 12 on the shot clock, and all he did was reach out as the guy started to move. You got to move your feet, and when you're beaten, the Bulldogs do what they call run, glide, run, which is a way to make up ground as you've been beaten. Travis didn't use that technique. He just reached out and grabbed them.
Demetrius Porter back in for the Bulldogs. He replaces Courtney Alexander. Lob goes inside to Preston. And he's fouled on the way up. Preston will head to the free throw line, shooting 2. Fouls on Noel Felix.
This is kind of a point counterpoint. Last time Felix got in the passing lane and stole the ball. What do you see right here is he got in the passing lane, so they just threw the ball over the top. Right there, you can see he's way in front of him. And what you need there to help out your post player, if you're going to deny that pass, is more pressure on the ball, more pressure on the passer.
Felix goes out. Melvin Eli comes back in. Preston, a 62% free throw shooter. Averages 11 points, 5 rebounds a game.
Interesting stat on Preston. He made 15 of his, and that's what I'm talking about. As soon as you hit the floor, it's an automatic travel.
Well, this time the call goes against the Bulldogs.
And actually, these are WAC officials. We have what we call reverse crews. We have WAC officials here, and then we have Big West officials in Fresno.
Heiser inbound. Davis and Demetrius Porter went high up for it. They say Porter touched it last.
And not a second went off the shot clock.
Under 9 minutes left in the first half. It's 14-10. Fresno State leading by 4. Masters inside, throws up a wild shot high off the glass, and it goes.
Yeah, they had a mismatch there with Irvin and Masters, but Irvin comes back and sees his buddy Melvin Eli up the floor and makes a nice pass thread the needle for a basket.
A bigger mismatch at the other end as Eli puts it in. Melvin has 4. 4-point Bulldog lead. Heiser for 3, ought to be short. Nearly tipped in by Demandi, rebounded by Eli.
The game's going up and down now. This is to the Bulldogs' advantage.
Eli keeps it out to Irvin, who gets it to Porter. Back out to Irvin, has a wide open 3 and hits. Nick Irvin for 3. 19-12. Fresno State leading by 7.
And that's the second basket that the Bulldogs got on what you call inside out. Throw the ball inside, throw it back out. Porter got the first one, Irvin got that one.
Davis with a left-hand push-off, no call.
And Davis is hobbling a little bit. He looked like he might have sprained his ankle, so his ankle's not 100%, but his left arm is.
Heiser can't drive the baseline on Irvin. Hahn inside, gets Abney up in the air, no foul, basket by Hahn.
There were 3 on the shot clock when he made that one. So UOP's not leaving themselves much margin for error.
Irvin hears it from Jerry Tarkanian as he unloads the 3 and misses. And a foul, a reach-in foul on Demetrius Porter.
And this is what they don't want to see. They don't want to see the Bulldogs getting worn down with all of this, so they start reaching. There's a second reach-in foul, 1 on Demetrius, 1 on Travis Demandi. And what Jerry didn't like about Nick's last shot, he made his last 3-pointer, but there was patience. They threw it inside to Eli, threw it back out to Nick. He threw it over Demetrius, penetrated, kicked it out. The last one, he just came down, shot it right away, and he doesn't want the ball shot that quickly.
Nathan Davis will shoot the free throws, and you're right, he is hobbling, but it looks like maybe the right knee. You see how his right knee is wrapped?
I didn't notice whether he had it wrapped before the game or not.
Davis, a sophomore, averages 3 points but 6 assists. He's the team leader in assists at UOP.
Right, he has a 2-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio, and that's what you want at least out of your point guard.
Makes both of the free throws. And Pacific is again within 3. 7:02 remaining. We have a timeout here in Stockton. Bulldogs 19, Tigers 16. March 8th through the 11th. March 8th through the 11th. The $125 all-session passes for the 14 games are available now while they last. Call 278-DOGS. Now Monday night at 7:30, sibling rivalry turns ugly when the Crane Boys compete for a club membership on Frazier, followed by Time of Your Life, only on your station, KMPH, Fox 26. And we're having the time of our lives here in Stockton. 7:02 remaining in the first half. Courtney Alexander back in for the Dogs.
UOP's coming out with that three-quarter court trap again. Bulldogs put Courtney Alexander in the middle, break it easily, and now UOP goes back to the zone.
Shooting percentages, Pacific really struggling a bit, but within 3. Jerry Tarkanian instructing his guys to move.
Now they're back man-to-man. It was a false zone. They started out zone, matched up man.
Alexander, no good rebound. Abney.
And the Bulldogs got the shot they wanted.
His pass inside is misdirected, deflected, and intercepted. McKnight, that's a deep three-pointer. Wow. Roberson with the long rebound. Gets it off to Porter. Approaching 6 minutes remaining. Porter for 3. That's no good. Rebound comes off. Ross Mills into the game, controls.
Mills gives them a lot of size, slows them down a little bit, but they're really not running, so they could use the size for the screens.
Pacific really struggling from three-point range.
You can see they're using up the whole shot clock and making the Bulldogs guard the entire possession.
Heiser gets it out. This is Masters for 3. It's well off the mark. Rebound comes off to Porter. Jack, Pacific looks like a team that has not played a game since December 8th.
Yeah, they've had, it's one of those things where if they win, you say it's because they had a lot of time to prepare, and if they lose, it's because they're rusty.
Well, Melvin Eli really worked for that basket, and he worked Ross Mills.
Yeah, he kind of abused him inside. That's a real tough matchup for Mills. He's about the same height, but he's not near the quickness and doesn't have the feet that Melvin has.
Eli leading all scorers with 6 points. 5 minutes remaining in the half. McKnight for 3. That's good.
Well, you can't go behind the screen when you're playing Clay McKnight. You have to go over the top or switch it.
Tigers are now 2 of 11 on three-pointers. And it's a 2-point game.
And they're back man-to-man. They're going into Eli.
Blocked. Porter's shot was blocked in there by Hahn.
Right, 10 on the shot clock. Mainly because the ball didn't hit anything.
Eli with 5. Right-hand hook is good.
Yeah, if he has that going, you're going to have a tough time guarding him. I know that at the last timeout, Jerry Tarkanian instructed the Bulldogs to get the ball to Melvin Eli. He scored the first time he got it and hadn't had many touches since.
Eli now with 8 to lead all scorers. Heiser, through traffic, was open, but he gave it off to Masters, and Masters was fouled as he put up the shot. Foul will be on Larry Abney, his second. Masters will go to the free throw line, shooting 2.
Yeah, this is a penetration play. As soon as you get beaten down there, you're in trouble. I mean, that was not a... that was by design that Master was where Heiser needed him. After they penetrate, the Pacific knows exactly where they're supposed to be because the penetration is for a pitch or a pass rather than a shot.
Masters, just a freshman, averages 2 points a game. He already has 5 in this one.
Nice looking freshman, too.
Now full court pressure. Under 4 minutes remaining. It's a 3-point Fresno State lead.
Bulldogs have done a good job against the pressure, mainly because they have spaced very well and made the Tigers guard the entire floor.
Pass inside was broken up by Heiser. He gets it back from Marble. McKnight's going to fire for three. Looks short, is short, gets his own rebound and kicks it back out to Heiser. He gets it back for three, and that's going to be well short.
That's exactly their philosophy, is come down and throw the ball out to McKnight. They're coming down on the fast break. They're not looking for layups. They want to try to get Clay McKnight. Melvin Eli is hobbling up the floor. I don't know if it's because his brace came undone.
A whistle and a foul is going to be called on Masters. Knocking Larry Abney to the hardwood. There is a timeout on the floor with 3:15 remaining. Fresno State leading this one by a point. The Bulldogs have never trailed, taking a 7-0 lead in the opening 3 minutes. But the Tigers have been sticking around in position here to take the lead.
Oh, yeah, and they're getting the shots that they want. What happened on the last play, Melvin Eli has an air cast, which hooks underneath his foot, and it just snapped. And Ed Ferrer is running into the training room now to try to correct it. I don't know if Melvin's going to go without it or if they're just going to take him out of the game.
He's asking the other, I think the UOP trainer, if he has anything that he can jerry-rig. Coming up at halftime, we'll have our Bulldog Spotlight. We'll also get you up to date with what's happening in the world, the KMPH News Break, and the Stats and Highlights brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. All that coming up at halftime.
Yeah, here you can see he gets him leaning on that shot fake and then has a real nice left hand, but he just crosses through him. Got Mills leaning forward, and Melvin has that step through, but Mills pretty much has to lean because Melvin can hit that turnaround jump shot.
Eli leading all scorers with 8. On that particular play, the old, what would you say, Jack, the Kevin McHale up and under move?
That is what it looked like. You're right.
Eli is not in the game.
I'm not sure that Ed Ferrer will let him play in the game without that air cast on. I know Ed went off the floor into the training room to try to get something to support that strap.
Fresno State clinging to a 1-point lead here. Bulldogs' biggest lead was 7. They've never trailed. Approaching 3 minutes remaining in the half.
Got Andrea Bona in the game, and I think this will help certainly help the physical part of it.
Roberson, long on the 3. Rebound comes off to Barry Marble. Pacific with a chance to take its first lead. Heiser tries to take it all the way. Knocked out of bounds off of Heiser, so it'll be Bulldog basketball.
Now, I know that's not what Bob Thomason wanted. I know he doesn't want his guys taking the ball to the basket that early in the possession, and Demetrius did a really good job of sticking his hand in there and not only deflecting the ball, but having it go off to Tiger as well.
Alexander with a fall away in and out. Rebound comes off to Heiser.
The Dogs are getting some good shots. They're just not getting any second shots.
Oh, Porter took an elbow in the mouth from Heiser, and Heiser has his shot blocked by Roberson. Porter says he has all his teeth. Gets it to Roberson. Pulls up from the baseline.
Well, that's a tough shot.
And again, for the 3rd straight trip, Pacific with a chance to take the lead for the first time. There's the guy you want to take the shot. But he doesn't. He gets it to Hahn off the glass, and Pacific leads for the first time. 24-23 on the basket by Mike Hahn.
Well, this has been in the middle part of this half, the Pacific getting better shots than the Bulldogs. They were getting good shots early. They just weren't going down.
Alexander. It's the Porter. 1:30 remaining in the half. Alexander for 3 in the lead. That's no good. Rebound, foul on Roberson over the top of McKnight.
Oh, that's a tough call. That was a long rebound, and I'm not sure that he didn't anticipate that one because normally when the big guy goes over the little guy, you're going to see that call, and possibly it was a foul. I think we may get a look at it.
Watch the left side of the screen.
Yeah, I mean, that's just one guy being taller than the other guy and being penalized because he's taller. And now, of course, you're putting a guy on the line that hasn't missed a free throw since,
last year.
Sometime early in '99.
Now 19 of 19 from the line.
His streak last year, his longest streak was 24 in a row. Now he's at 20.
And Pacific has its biggest lead, up by 3. Minute 20 left in the half. Alexander hits for Fresno State. Courtney Alexander now with 6 for the Bulldogs.
Right, ran the baseline, curled off a screen low, and then ended up with about a 10-footer. He's going to make 80% of those.
Hahn inside, right-hand release, gets the bounce, and scores. Over-ramp.
That was a nice move by Hahn. I didn't think that he had that good a back-to-the-basket game. He looked like he knew what he was doing there and knocked the thing down. Had a nice touch on it.
It's a 12-4 run by Pacific to lead by 3. Andrea Bona, that's a 2-pointer by the left-hander, and it's no good. Marble with the rebound.
Well, the problem you see here for Fresno on offense is one and done. You're just not getting any offensive rebounds. And now what you're doing is putting so much pressure on your half-court offense because you're not getting to the free throw line, nor are you getting fast break baskets.
Pacific turns it over, intercepted by Porter. He gets to Alexander. Final seconds, hit fire, in and out. Boy, tough luck for Fresno State. Bulldogs had several shots go in and out in this first half. Outscored 12-4 down the stretch here, and trailing by 3. It's halftime. Spano Center at Stockton, and kind of surprising, the Bulldogs trail 25-28.
$5,000 you got.
Judge Joe.
$5,000 you got.
Judge Joe Brown. Weekday mornings at 11 on your station, Fox 26.
Your list of favorite holiday movies may be as long as your wish list to Santa. The same goes for some of your favorite celebrities. Sherry Sylvester reports.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, channel surfers were stirring on the living room couch. Jimmy and Chevy, the Grinch they were after, movies to bring them great joy and some laughter.
To my big brother George, the richest man in town.
I'm a sucker for It's a Wonderful Life. I always have to watch that every Christmas.
Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
I love it when every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings. You know, it's a cute movie. I like it.
Any movie that can really touch your emotions like that. I love that.
I've never seen It's a Wonderful Life or The Godfather. I'm one of the worst people when it comes to that. A holiday movie. The Grinch that stole Christmas.
You're a rotter, Mr. Grinch. You're the king of simple plots.
I like The Grinch that stole Christmas. Dr. Seuss.
The Grinch and Charlie Brown's Christmas are probably my two favorite because I've watched them since I was a kid.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
That's a classic, too.
That's a classic, yeah.
Humbug.
Patrick Stewart stars in one of the many versions of A Christmas Carol, but that's not his favorite.
I have always been addicted to the 1951 Ealing comedy version of A Christmas Carol with Alistair Sim, and that has been played, particularly in England. That's played a lot at Christmas time.
God bless us, everyone.
I really enjoyed the Muppet version of A Christmas Carol, too.
Bill Murray and Scrooge. That's always, I think he's the last guy to do the Christmas Carol and with a twist and make it funny.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
Made in 1954, White Christmas followed up Holiday Inn.
Bing was obviously the captain of the ship. And Danny knew that. Danny Kaye knew that. Vera Ellen knew that. I felt sorry for Vera because she had to dance with me, for God's sake.
No question about it. It's a holiday film, hands down, it's the winner.
Old friends from the past on the screen, they'll appear. Here's hoping they bring you some holiday cheer. Sherry Sylvester, CNN, Los Angeles.
That's your halftime report. Join Eric Alvarez after the game for all of the day's news. Now on to the second half.
You stay at Funcoland, and I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Yes! All right!
So, did you have fun?
Yeah.
Tired of holiday shopping?
Why would you wear cleats to a store?
The Simpsons have a better way to pick up a few last-minute gifts. Create a diversion. This and other holiday ideas on a new Simpsons at 8/7 Central, Fox Sunday.
Well, now you've got the ultimate arbiter.
She's the original.
What? I know, right. This case is not brain surgery.
The one and only.
Yes, sure enough, perfect.
Don't miss a single second of America's #1 court show.
Just listen to me.
Judge Judy's Justice with an Attitude.
Weekday mornings at 9 on your station, Fox 26.
Fox Tuesday.
Santa Claus, he's not real.
Will one little girl's wish,
Do you believe that you are Santa Claus?
yes, of course, finally come true? Elizabeth Perkins, Dylan McDermott, and Mara Wilson. Miracle on 34th Street.
Time now for Bulldog Spotlight.
It was a bona fide tragedy. Last year, the NCAA basically said Andrea Bona cheated on his SAT. They said there was too big of an improvement between the first and second time he took the test.
It was terrible. Terrible time because, first of all, I told them I didn't cheat, and they said, no, we don't trust you. So I was, okay, I want to show you that I'm tougher than you. I'm going to take the test again.
So he did, and again got a passing score, but he was still ruled ineligible. Finally, after a month-long battle with the NCAA, Bona won back his eligibility. Jerry Tarkanian told him the news at a practice, and Bona was able to celebrate with his parents, who flew all the way in from Italy.
My parents were in tears because it was just, I was proud of myself, and my parents proud of me, and I showed, I don't think a lot of people fought against the NCAA and won. Besides, I remember Tarkanian had this, but as far as SAT stuff, that was a big, big win for me.
Well, I'm glad he's here, I'll tell you, because we're really short-handed. And Andrea's a tough kid. He gives us a lot of toughness, and he's a tremendous defender.
For all the guys in my country, playing NCAA at a high level is a dream. Just playing, people would fight just to come here and play Division III. So, and it's just, I'm doing now something for my country. I'm representing my country, and it's always been my dream to play here in the States.
We'll visit more with Andrea Bona right after this.
It's always an exciting season at the Bulldog Shop. Whatever you're looking for in Bulldog Red, you'll find it at the Bulldog Shop. Choose from Fresno State sweatshirts in every style, Bulldog jackets and windbreakers for both men and women, polos, t-shirts, Fresno's largest selection of caps and hats, and fun stuff for every fan. Shop for the kids and dress them up in their Bulldog best. It's always an exciting season at the Bulldog Shop, Cedar and Barstow, across from all three stadiums.
Bona is finally starting to get some more playing time, and he brings something to this Bulldog team nobody else does: toughness.
When I go in, I try to, they had to respect me. I don't care. If I had to knock some guys down, I'd do it. I don't care. I really don't care.
He's fearless, and he's an Italian stallion, and that's what we tell him. He's an Italian stallion. Now, I'm kind of scared he might turn into Hollywood Bona now. He's getting a little comfortable out here in Cali.
Regardless of how much he plays, Bona will always be able to say he was the first Italian-born man ever to receive a scholarship
to play basketball at an American university, and that's something he takes a lot of pride in.
Especially when I go back. I went back for summertime for 3 months. I went back to Italy, and magazines and professional team asked me to go back and play for them. So I think it's a nice sensation. So I think at this point, nobody can take away my dream.
I'm Dana Green with the Bulldog Spotlight.
Back at Spano Center in Stockton, the Fresno State Bulldogs trailing this one to UOP's Tigers, 28-25. Pacific going on a late run into the first half to take its first lead. The Bulldogs led for the first 18 minutes before Pacific went on that run, 12-4 to take the three-point lead to the locker room at halftime. We're going to take a look at some of the first half highlights now and show you how Pacific really came back. The Tigers not getting it done outside, but finally Clay McKnight would hit the three-pointer. This team was 2 of 14 from three-point range, but McKnight ignites one there. He had 8 points in the first half. Also with 8 points was Mike Hahn, and he will take the feed from McKnight inside as McKnight controls it, gets it back, and finds Hahn open, who goes over Larry Abney for 2 of his 8 points. Part of that 12-4 run. Now for Fresno State, Melvin Eli was the offensive leader. He had 8 points as well for the Bulldogs. Here with a nice right-hand hook over Ross Mills. 2. Eli, though, did miss some action when something happened to the splint on his leg. 6 points for Courtney Alexander. 2 of them coming on the lob from Nick Irvin there. And it's a 28-25. Pacific halftime lead. Ralph Wood along with Jack Burdick. We're going to take a look at some of these first half stats brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. You can see the three-point shooting, Jack, was really poor for each team.
Right, and the teams were really getting pretty good shots that just weren't going down. UOP, this is what they pretty much based their offense on. Clay McKnight, their leader, 3 of every 4 shots he takes is a three-pointer. So they're not shooting well, and the Bulldogs are not shooting well also.
Individually, leading scorers, Hahn and McKnight for Pacific, Eli and Alexander. Demetrius Porter had 5 of the first 7 points for Fresno State. Didn't score after that. Jack, you just came from the locker room. Give me some of your observations about what we can expect in the second half from Bulldogs.
Well, number one, offensively, the Bulldogs want to get the ball to Melvin Eli. Almost every time he touches the ball, something good happens, whether he scores or whether he kicks it out for a wide-open 3. Defensively, they just can't afford to let Pacific get into the paint. They're guarding them well for 20 or 25 seconds, but then the last screen they set, UOP sets, they come down, their guards get into the paint, and usually not for a shot, but for a pass, their big guys are ducking in and they're taking shots close to the basket.
All right, Fresno State needs to come back in the second half. Bulldogs trail by 3. We'll be back with the second half for you after this timeout.
A thought for those of you married to your job. Every once in a while, have a fling with your wife. Royal Caribbean, like no vacation on earth.
When you feel the Professor Safety products, prepare to defend yourself. A secret craft leads Sydney on the hunt.
You're a relic hunter. That's why you're here.
In search of lost treasure.
No one leaves a fortune unprotected.
But when the bad guys go too far,
You're way too clever for your own good. You're making a big mistake.
she'll have to kick some butt. Tia Carrere, next Thrilling Hunter.
Sunday afternoon at 4 on your station, Fox 26.
Welcome back to Stockton. Just about ready to start the second half. Fresno State down by 3. The Bulldogs, Jack, not on pace to score that 90 points as they have the last 3 games, but there's a good explanation for that.
Well, yeah, one reason, Ralph, there aren't as many possessions in the game. UOP is running the clock down, and many times Fresno State's running it down, too. So you're going to have fewer possessions. You're talking about points per possession, but even still, the Bulldogs offensively, we talked at the top of the show that they needed to get easy points, and easy points being free throws. They only have 1 point from the free throw line. Easy points being offensive rebound baskets. They have none. And fast break points, and they only have 4 off the break. So they put so much pressure on themselves in the half court. Shots just aren't dropping.
Melvin Eli has had the splint on his left leg repaired. He's back in the lineup to start the second half. Alexander hounding Masters. Hands it off to Nathan Davis. Good perimeter defense by Fresno State.
Yeah, very good.
The turnover.
Yeah. Terrence Roberson trailed off that screen. He trailed Masters off the screen. Master curled, which is what you're supposed to do. They threw the ball behind him, mainly because of the pressure by Larry Abney.
Abney inside, double teamed. Rebound comes off to Hong.
The Bulldogs got it inside, but they'd like to get it inside to Melvin Eli. He's their scoring threat. See if the Dogs can keep up the energy on this possession defensively they had on the last one.
Marvel gets around Eli, then it's cut off by Roberson, so he kicks it out. Shot put up by Davis is no good. Played over a minute, first half, nobody scored. Alexander into Larry Abney. Abney fighting for the own rebound and gets it, puts it back up and in.
Well, Larry will battle. His back to the basket game isn't nearly as good as Melvin's, but he will battle you in there. And was a leading rebounder, only 3 for the Bulldogs. That gives him another one.
Again, Fresno State out rebounded in the first half, 21-17. Bounce pass, knocked away by Eli, but it goes to Marvin. Back to Heiser.
And they're not putting the same pressure on this possession that they did the first 2.
Masters worked around the screen, but couldn't get the shot to fall. Roberson has it knocked away and gets it back. 1-point lead for Pacific, approaching 18 minutes remaining in the game. Just a 28-27 ball game. Porter for 3, that's long. Rebound Marvin. Pounded in the backcourt by Porter, gets it in the frontcourt. Lob it inside the heart, knocked away by Eli, last touch by Eli, 20 on the shot clock, it'll be UOP ball out of bounds. Into the game for Pacific, McKnight and Preston replacing Heiser and Marvel. So just as they did to open the game, the 2 leading scorers did not start the game. They don't start the second half, but they get in.
And one thing about not playing your 2 leading scorers, it gives you a lot more offense off the bench.
Good call. McKnight off the bench hits his first shot. It's a 3.
And McKnight was the inbounder on that. Looks like a little half-court trap here. McKnight was the inbounder. After he threw it in, they give him he can go out either side. Courtney got caught up in the screen.
Roberson, 3-pointer is no good. Rebound comes off to McKnight.
Terrence didn't shoot that very confidently. It was a good wide open shot, but he just didn't stroke it with the same confidence he normally does.
Nathan Davis, he's not a shooter. 10 on the shot clock. Masters, right-hander, doesn't get it to go, but he was fouled. Masters will go to the free throw line.
And this is just what we talked about, Ralph. There were 9 on the clock when he took it.
Where is she?
Who?
Sarah. Where is she?
Who?
Sarah.
I don't know any Sarah.
I thought all bartenders like to talk.
I don't know who she is. Then we're going to try to penetrate at the end of the shot clock.
Masters makes 1 of 2. Alexander at the other end hits the two-pointer.
I think Master might have gotten away with a reach-in on that one, and it was kind of a break for the Bulldogs because they ended up with a easy, open, uncontested short jump shot that Courtney knocks down most of the time.
Alexander with 8. Lob inside, knocked away, but Knight gets it back.
That was nice help by Terrence coming from the weak side to knock that ball away. They just couldn't get it.
10 on the shot clock. Davis drives.
And once again, Davis gets into the paint, but not to shoot.
He is a 19% shooter from the field, but leads the team in assists. Alexander fouled on the way up. Courtney Alexander will go to the line to shoot 2. Hahn, I believe, is whistled for the foul.
You know, Pacific is a not a particularly athletic team, but a very physical team. They make you run off screens, and that hurts you. And now you can see here, he got his money's worth on that foul.
Hahn picks up his first foul. That is just the 4th foul of this game called against Pacific. 3 fouls whistled against the Tigers in the first half, and 9 against Fresno State as Alexander misses the first of 2 free throws. Courtney, an 83% free throw shooter this season. Hits the second. And that draws the Bulldogs back to within 2. Fresno State's biggest deficit has been 5. The biggest lead, 7. 15:44 remaining. We'll be right back.
It raises Californians' expectations about what a minivan can be. With features like a powerful V6 engine, dual sliding doors, and an available 10-speaker CD cassette stereo. Then, we added one more thing for California buyers. Up to $2,750 in values. The Chrysler Town & Country.
See your Northern California Chrysler and Plymouth dealer. The new place to be, the only place to buy.
Open the back. Millennium balls. You know, for antennas. They're free when you buy a sourdough jack combo.
Many of the designer labels in our suits are the same well-known labels you'll find in department stores. But then they should be. After all, they're made by the same manufacturers.
The Men's Warehouse.
You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
The Bulldog Shop has everything Fresno State fan needs, from Bulldog t-shirts to authentic Fresno State basketball apparel. So stop by the Bulldog Shop on the corner of Cedar and Barstow. Open this week from 10 to 8, Monday through Thursday, 10 to 5 on Christmas Eve. Great time for your Christmas shopping. At the Spanish Center on the campus of UOP in Stockton, Ralph Wood along with Jack Furtick. Fresno State trailing by 2. Just under 16 minutes remaining here in the basketball game. Much closer game than anyone had expected.
Bulldogs are going to, looks like a trapping defense. They sure are. The problem that you have with the trap is that you're going to give up open shots, but usually they're hurried.
McKnight was off on the 3, but Marble got the rebound. His foul on the way up, so Barry Marble will shoot 2 free throws. Larry Abney picks up foul number 3 with 15:26 remaining in the game.
Yeah, the Bulldogs there went to what they call their scramble, which is a half-court trap, trying to speed the game up some. They got what they wanted, but the problem that you have with the scramble is that you're going to spread your guys out, and you're going to have everybody come back and rebound. Got Clay McKnight to rush a shot under pressure from Melvin Eli, but just didn't rebound the miss.
Larry Abney nearly tipped that one up and in. Mike Cobb gets the rebound, and he does score it. Turns out to be a three-point play for the Tigers, and they match their biggest lead up by 5.
Yeah, that was a tough possession. They did what they wanted, but two things came up wrong. One, they didn't rebound the first miss, and second, they didn't rebound the miss free throw.
Nice pass from Roberson to Abney, who dunks it.
Right, a little of UOP's own medicine where Terrence Roberson got into the paint, threw a defender, and dished it off for an easy shot for Abney.
And back at the other end, Eli with the block off the UOP player. It'll be Fresno State basketball.
I think we'll get a chance to look at it. UOP sees that they're in the trap and they're going to throw it over the top. They just didn't realize that Eli was going to come back on it.
Back at the other end, Roberson for three, no good. Rebound Hahn. 17th block of the season from Melvin Eli on the previous possession.
Now that one didn't go in, but it looked a lot better. I think he shot it with a lot more confidence.
Nearly stolen by Abney. Marvel blocked again by Eli. 2 blocks in the last 2 possessions.
And one thing that happens to a team like that, Ralph, is that UOP doesn't get to see shot blockers often in practice, and I think that they're not used to having a guy come out like that.
5 on the shot clock. Marvel to 3. That's no good. Good position by Abney for the rebound.
I think the Bulldogs will allow Marvel to shoot that shot all day.
Porter open for 3 and hits.
Now that one was a much better shot by Demetrius Porter than the last one he took. The last one was a little rushed. That one, once again, Terrence Roberson into the paint, draws the defender, kicks it out.
Porter with 8 points, scored his first point since the first 3 minutes of this game. We're tied at 35. Inside to Preston. Tries to go under and does. A nice move for the layup, and Pacific regains the lead.
Right, Pacific has seen that the Bulldogs are going to front the post. In other words, the defender's going to stay in front of their post player. That's the 3rd possession they've tried to throw the ball over the top. First time they've scored on it. Now they're back in their matchup zone.
Well, Roberson thought about now he's going to drive. Hangs it off the glass, no good. Rebound comes off to Hahn. 2-point Pacific lead. Preston wants it inside. Knocked away by Porter. Out of bounds. Pacific basketball. Last touch by Porter. Substitutions for the Tigers. Masters coming in for Hahn. McKnight leaving. Replaced by Davis. And you see Melvin Eli, who is second on the team in rebounds, but leads in blocked shots. Set a school record last year with 91.
Does a good job. He doesn't leave his feet too soon. You'll see Noel Felix actually has better shot blocking capabilities, I would say, than Melvin, but he'll go for a head fake. I think that just comes with experience.
Davis in the game. McKnight not in the game. The dribble turned over by Ross Mills. You don't want your big man out there dribbling the basketball.
No, and Melvin Eli put great pressure. I think that you have to give Melvin Eli a lot of credit to get out that far on the floor and guard a guy from 25 feet, forcing a turnover.
8 turnovers by Pacific. That was a nice mistake miss. Here come the Tigers again.
That was a nice look by Nick Irvin.
Iser can't get it to fall. Here come the Bulldogs. Roberson stops and pops for 3.
He finally got one to go. He missed a 3. He went inside, missed a short jumper off the glass. He missed the layup on the last one. I think the 50th senior just has the confidence that if he has an open shot, he's going to knock it down.
Fresno State regains the lead for the first time since the late moments of the half, and here comes Melvin Eli. Eli with the steal and jam. The Bulldogs are on a run.
And we talked about, Ralph, at the top of the show, trying to make the game athletic. That's athletic. That's Melvin Eli at 6'9", getting into a passing lane. Mills had no chance to catch him.
30-second timeout called by Pacific's Bob Thomas, and he wants to talk it over. His team has lost the lead, now down by 3 with 11:32 remaining.
Now, you take a look at it here. You didn't get to see the steal, but you can see this is pretty athletic for a guy 6'9". Takes off maybe 10 feet from the basket and gets to throw it down. That's an athletic move. That's something I don't think you're going to see Mills do at the other end. But that's what the Bulldogs need. The last baskets, the last 5 points they have came off of defensive pressure, turning the game into an athletic contest. So much so that Bob Thomason uses a 30-second timeout, even though there'll be a TV timeout at the next dead ball.
This is a 10-2 run by Fresno State. Down by 5, now up by 3. And one of your keys, Jack, was make the game athletic.
Well, make the game athletic and get some easy points. And easy points are points in transition.
Bumping foul with the body on Nick Urban. First foul for Urban.
Right, you can see Nick is saying that he's pushing off.
With 11:26 remaining, we now have a full timeout, so we'll step aside. The Bulldogs lead this one by 3.
It's delicious.
Have you tasted the fabulous new dish at Bobby Salazar's? All served with fresh grilled veggies, rice, beans, and tortillas. That's healthy.
Talk about healthy. Have you seen how many healthy items are on Bobby's menu?
Bobby Salazar's, with Bobby's personal touch in every kitchen.
Visit locations in Fresno, Clovis, Visalia, Kingsburg, or Porterville.
Salazar. Hey, smells like Bobby.
This isn't just another vineyard. It's an international business operation. This isn't just another farmer driving his tractor. It's a businessman with a capital investment. This is the San Joaquin Valley, the nation's #1 agricultural center. And for over 80 years, Valley and Fresno Madera Farm Credit have helped make dreams come to life. From one generation to the next, Valley and Fresno Madera Farm Credit, our roots are in agriculture.
Time again for This Week in Bulldog Sports, brought to you by AT&T Wireless Services. Coming up Monday, don't miss your chance to see the women's basketball team taking on the Braves of Bradley University. Tip-offs after 7 p.m. in the North Gym. On Tuesday, the 21st of December, the men's basketball team will take on Wagner in the first game of the Trent Holmes Classic. The action starts at 5:30 when Norfolk State battles Cornell. Then the Fresno State Bulldogs tip off at 8. Constellation Championship games will be played Wednesday, the following day, at 5:30 and 8 p.m. respectively. This Week in Bulldog Sports has been brought to you by AT&T Wireless Services. Now some youngsters getting an early start on becoming basketball fans here at Pacific. And a whistle away from the ball. A foul, I believe, is going to be on Melvin Eli. A holding foul, and it is. Eli picks up his third with 11:17 remaining. Eli has 3. Abney has 3. Right now, the only Bulldogs on the verge of being in foul trouble. Marvel inside. He was strong. Rebound comes off by Roberson. Nick Urban hustling it up the court. Bounce pass to Larry Abney. Spins inside. Can't get it to go. Saved at the baseline by Eli. Here comes a right-hand hook. Short. Rebound comes off to Roberson and can't control it. Out of bounds. Pacific ball.
Now, tough possession. Nick Urban really pushed the ball up the floor. He gave it to Larry Abney, but he just couldn't gather himself. Threw up a wild shot that didn't go. Melvin got the rebound. Ball slipped out of his hand. Missed it. Terrence had the ball, lost it out of bounds. Tough possession, but a lot of hustle.
Bulldogs still losing the battle of the boards. But winning on the scoreboard. Fresno up and in. Nick Urban goes down and loses a shoe.
Yeah, they're not going to stop the game for that. He's just going to have to play with it. They better get the ball over, though. They have to get it over by 25.
They got it.
They had him plenty of time.
Eli again will like he wants to hook it up.
Well, I can't believe they're not going to double team him when he gets the ball in the low post. That was kind of surprising. They have a tough mismatch. They're going to play behind Melvin Eli and not double team him. Boy, the Dogs should go into him every time.
Preston with the foul. Eli to the line, shooting 2. He leads the Bulldogs with 10 points. And now hits his average for the season. Courtney Alexander checking back into the game. Terrence Roberson will lead. Alexander with 9 tonight. He averages 26. Eli falls short on the second of 2. McKnight for the lead.
Oh, a tough shot. He came off the downswing and just buried it.
The lob to Eli, and he puts it home with authority. Perfect pass from Nick Irvin.
Nick really likes that lob pass and does it well. Had one in the first half to Courtney's, had several to Melvin, and does it in practice often.
Bulldogs back in front by 1. Approaching 9.5 minutes. Knocked away by Irvin as he hits the deck.
And a nice hustle by Nick because that wasn't his man. The Bulldogs talked about that at halftime on those ball handoffs. In other words, where the dribbler comes, stops, and hands off to someone. They're going to switch that, and Melvin Eli did a great job. Once again, that's a pretty athletic move for a guy 6'9" to guard a dribbler, and then after he hands off to switch out and guard the new ball handler.
McKnight to inbound. Remember last time he popped out for the 3 and hit it.
Right. It's called a single-double. He has 2 screens on one side and 1 on the other, and they try to give him a chance to go either way.
Preston has it knocked away. Irvin comes out with it. Gets it to Alexander for 3. Rebound comes off to Eli. A whistle before the shot. No basket. Foul will be called on McKnight.
Now, the difference there in taking an early shot and taking the ones we talked about in the first step is that's a shot in rhythm where he comes down, he's running, he gathers himself, he's ready for it, goes up, shoots. That's a great shot. And then you have Pacific not ready to block out because they're still in transition. Melvin gets the ball and gets fouled on the floor, or else would have had an easy basket himself.
Demetrius Porter will inbound. You have Porter, Irvin, Alexander, Abney, and Eli in for Fresno State. Irvin tries a whip pass. It goes to Alexander, then he loses it as Davis comes out with it. McKnight wide open for the 3, and he won't miss that.
So in transition, you have to go back. You have to protect the basket. You have to stop the ball. But somebody has to get out on Clay McKnight because he's going to knock those 3s down. It's difficult because you have so many things to do and you don't have that many players.
Eli with the right-hand hook. In a seesaw battle, we're tied at 45. 8:36 remaining.
This has become an inside-outside. The Bulldogs want to go inside to Melvin Eli. And the Tigers want to go outside to Clay McKnight.
Abney loses it as he goes up for the rebound.
Well, you can't fault Larry Abney for hustling there. He's all over. He knows his role on a team is to rebound, and that's what he tried to do on that one. He just lost it on the way down.
Had a career-high 18 boards earlier this season. McKnight trying to get open. This is Masters, pushes off with the left hand.
Yeah, UOP must work on that pushing off because it doesn't get called.
Now loses it on the way up, but gets it back. And Masters with the garbage.
I'm not sure he lost it. I think he might have just laid it off for him.
Well, Masters has the basket and Pacific has the lead. Timeout on the floor, 7:59 remaining. And it's turning into a good one. It's been good since late in the first half.
In the next 30 years, the population of the Earth will double to nearly 12 billion people. It will take 450 trillion pounds of food each year to meet the demand. This is agriculture's challenge in the 21st century, a challenge to be met by e-commerce. TheAgZone.com, the critical key to a worldwide solution designed by agriculture for agriculture. TheAgZone.com, providing e-commerce services, exposure worldwide while cutting your costs. TheAgZone.com, everything under one roof.
Give me a hand. Come on. Drop the chalupa. Drop it. Drop the chalupa.
Yeah, drop the chalupa.
The new Taco Bell chalupa is so good, people won't put it down. With a shell so crispy and flaky on the outside, yet soft and chewy on the inside, you'll wonder why we put stuff in it at all. Grab one now for just 99 cents.
Move. Mine.
They're back.
Happy New Year, amigos.
4 new Chihuahuas are ready to party. Get yours now at Taco Bell.
It's the right team at the right time. Join Kristen Hoke and Eric Alvarez for the Valley's only primetime newscast. The KMPH 10 o'clock news, tonight on your station.
Bulldog basketball on Fox 26 is brought to you by Got Dogs. If you want to be seen in Got Dogs.
Back in Stockton, I thought that ball got away, but it's actually a pass, Jack.
Oh, yeah,
Melvin
forces him out. They like to, big fellow likes to, Preston likes to go to his left, and he got a step on Melvin. Larry actually got a hand on the pass, and then Melvin got a hand on the shot, but it went in.
Coming off the glass, right. Masters scores. Masters with 10 points. Alexander looking for 11. He has it.
Bulldogs came out with a set play for Courtney Alexander, running him off 2 screens and clearing a side for him. They had a 2-man game. He could have thrown it into Melvin. He had a shot, and that's his shot. He loves that going left and knocking that thing down.
Tied with 7.5 minutes left. Knocked away from behind by Roberson. And Abner, a great job on the floor. Roberson spins off the glass. No one there to rebound, but White Shirts comes off to Marvel.
Well, Terrence is having some tough luck on his shots.
McKnight, as he falls to the floor, is another 3. He's hit 4 3-pointers in the second half.
Yeah, and Nick got caught on a switch guarding McKnight, and that's a bad matchup. Nick Urban has a tough time running off screens, and playing a guy like Clay McKnight, that makes it tough. But there's an answer.
Roberson answers with a deep 3 at the other end, and we're tied at 50.
Terrence's shots have been pretty close. They've been around and out, except for that 1 3 that he took that didn't look good. The rest of them have actually been pretty close. And Jerry Tarkanian's philosophy has always been to give his shooters the green light and give them confidence. And I think that one right there was a confidence jump shot.
Roberson with 6 points. Eli has 15 to lead Fresno State. Alexander with 11. McKnight leads all scorers with 20 for Pacific. He's hit 4 3-pointers here in the second half. Pacific went 2 of 14 from 3-point range in the first half. But McKnight, a guy who hit 9 3-pointers against Fresno State a year ago, starting to heat up in the second half. Under 6.5 minutes remaining now. It's a 50-50 game. McKnight looking to get open. 9 on the shot clock. Hahn going to have to do something with it. Throws it up with the right hand. Can't get it to go. Rebound, though, by Marvel is no good. Comes off to Demetrius Porter. 6 minutes left. Abney reverse layup with a nice pass from Porter. And the Bulldogs regain the lead. 52-50.
And Abney went coast to coast on that one. He started out at the baseline and just beat everybody down the floor. I know that the Bulldog coaching staff would like to see more of that out of Larry Abney, because that's one thing he can really do is run. He'd love to do that. I puts the Bulldogs up by 2, and I see Jerry's calling a 30 right now.
Taking care of some wet spots on the floor. As Fresno State with 5:51 remaining in this one, clinging to a 2-point lead in a seesaw battle here, especially in the second half. Jerry Tarkanian's numbers in a career that's now in its 29th season as a Division I coach.
And I'm not sure if Roy Williams was updated. His team got beat today by Illinois in the United Center. But each of these guys has coached so many games that one win or one loss doesn't affect the percentage too much. But you can see 0.02% separate the two guys from the top two spots in active percentage coaches. Well, the Bulldogs have been complaining about pushing off, and that was a great example.
Absolutely.
And they almost do it in slow motion.
This is Abney. Spins, falls, and gets fouled.
I think he fell because he got pushed. Made an aggressive move to the basket.
So Larry Abney goes to the free throw line. 4 team fouls on each side.
Excuse me, the Bulldogs came out of that timeout with a set play for Courtney Alexander, too, but he saw them jump out on him, so he tried to dump it down to Larry.
Abney now with 9 points in the game. He's playing with 3 fouls. Looking for double figures and gets it.
He's done a really nice job on his free throw game. He's really worked a lot on it. It was an absolutely horrible free throw shooting when he first came to Fresno State, and now is even better than adequate.
Well, the entire team's picked up the free throws, 74% going into this game. There's a whistle away from the ball. No basket. It will be a foul on Fresno State. Courtney Alexander picking it up. That'll be his second.
Yeah, he didn't want Clay McKnight to get open for a three and fought through the screen, but actually went right through it rather than trailing McKnight. I think he might have been a couple steps behind him, but Pacific does seem, the dribbler does seem to use that offhand to ward off the defensive player, and the philosophy behind calling fouls is advantage-disadvantage, and it certainly puts the defender at a disadvantage when you're trying to push up on him and you're allowing that pushing off with the offhand.
Well, it's so obvious it's almost comical. There was a shoulder by Davis. But you can see the separation as the defender nearly stumbles back a couple of steps, and then the ball handler's off arm is extended. Marble for 3, and that's that shot that you said you let him take all night long.
Yeah, I think so.
Out of bounds, Fresno State basketball.
I think the Dogs caught a break on that one. That was off Larry Abney.
Bob Thomason letting the officials hear it. So are the fans hear it. Alexander for 2. Up and over and out. Courtney Alexander.
Here you can see this ball juggled around, and I think Larry's left hand hit it last. Boy, Demetrius is really into Davis.
Preston.
They just let him get the ball too deep. You can't let a guy get the ball that close to the basket.
2-point lead for Fresno State. Approaching 4:15 in the game.
You're seeing a triangle in 2 now. They're playing, it looks like Terrence Roberson and Courtney man-to-man.
Roberson the long 3. Abney goes over the Bulldog bench trying to save it, but it'll be Tiger basketball. UOP trailing by 2. 4:03 left.
And the Bulldogs were doing a lot better on offense when they were going inside. The last 2 times settled for jump shots.
Marble. McKnight is down here at the bottom of the screen. Now he marches inside to set a screen.
And that's why
the rebound.
And that's why the guy shoots 19%. You're going to make about 19% of those shots. But as a ball handler and a floor leader, he's doing a nice job.
Alexander inside to Abney. Can't get it to fall, but he was fouled.
That was a really nice look by Courtney. He came out. Both defenders had their attention focused on him. He gave the ball to Larry, and the ball goes in and out. Here it is right here. He draws attention. Hahn came out initially to play him off the screen. Boy, you got to knock that one down.
Yeah, you can't miss that shot.
No, you got to make that shot. A 54-52 game, you got to make with 3:20 to go. You got to make that shot. You have to pay for them to come out and guard Courtney.
And you can understand how Tark is feeling.
Well, they ran the play and they got exactly what they wanted, and now they come up empty on the possession. It's just like throwing the ball out of bounds. Davis is really hobbling now.
McKnight.
You can see McKnight does not create shots for himself. He needs to get shots off of screens.
Timeout is called by Pacific. It's a 30-second timeout with 3 minutes remaining.
And Bob called that one because Davis is hobbling so bad. He wants to get Master in the game for him, or Heiser. But Davis was just completely ineffective. And plus, I think he saw he didn't have much going on in that possession. Clay McKnight, although a lot smaller, is a lot like when I was at the University of Tennessee, we had Dale Ellis. Dale Ellis could not really create a shot, but if you got him a shot, he knocked it down. Now, back then, they didn't have three-pointers. He's been the leading three-point shooter in the history of the NBA. I don't know that Clay will end up in the NBA, but if all you needed was three-point shooting, he'd be in there.
You saw Davis really hobbling over there on the Pacific bench. There's 16 seconds on the shot clock. Davis being consoled because really just can't go any longer and get ice on that knee right away. And it is that knee that was taped. We're under 3 minutes now.
Heiser did a nice job for him when he initially went in. And on the last play, they posted up Roberson. They got an easy basket. Jerry yelled out front him. And right there you saw Terrence Roberson getting around in front.
Knocked out of bounds by Roberson. It will be Pacific ball when we come back. 9 on the shot clock. 2:53 in the game. Bulldogs lead by 2.
No two guys are alike. That's why there's Pendleton from Gottschalk. Cool nights will warm up with Pendleton's 100% wool sports shirts or cotton twill sports shirts. Have him pull on a Shetland wool cardigan or crew sweater. He'll love Pendleton's styles and colors, and the wool sweaters are washable. Pendleton. Great style, great prices. On sale for the holidays at Gottschalk's.
It all starts here in the classroom. However, during the last 2 years, WAC student-athletes have achieved success beyond these walls.
64 WAC teams have been ranked in the top 25.
Fresno State won the national championship in softball.
TCU defeated USC in the Northwest Sun Bowl.
And Rice went to the College World Series 2 years in a row.
At WAC schools, the emphasis is on higher education,
while success in athletics is fundamental.
Trend Homes.
With more value.
For more families.
In more neighborhoods.
In our community.
Trend Homes. Building for generations.
Looking for the perfect Christmas gift? There's no better stocking stuffer than season tickets to Fresno State's baseball and softball. Don't miss your chance to see top-ranked Bulldog and both baseball and softball teams compete for the WAC titles. Call 278-DOGS next week to secure your seats. Here's the score from the Las Vegas Bowl. Fresno State falling by 1 point to the Utah Utes, but congratulations on a big season for Pat Hill, his first championship at Fresno State, and the Bulldogs will win a lot more bowl games than they lose in the years to come. Heiser comes in and nails a three, and Pacific is back on top.
And that was with 1 second on the shot clock.
Well, you told me in the break, Jack, that they would come out here and run a play with just 9 seconds left.
Oh, they had to. I mean, you don't have much choice. And there, once again, they get the ball into Larry Abbey, and even though you get fouled, that's when you just have to stick your head in the rim and make sure that ball goes down.
That'll send Abney to the free throw line, where he's hit 2 of 4 tonight. 10 points, 7 rebounds. And now he's missed 3 straight free throws. Needs this one to tie with 2:32 left. And gets it.
That was good to see, because down at UAB, if you remember, we were down 2 and Larry went to the line and missed them both. So that does weigh on you, especially if you're not, like an automatic type free throw shooter like you're playing McKnight. So it was good to see him knock that one down, because he was right down the middle on it.
Well, McKnight, you have to be concerned about him, because he's put his stroke here in the second half.
And they're going to run a lot of stuff for him. Kaiser's been very effective off the dribble.
He's working on the much taller Melvin Eli. He has to kick it out. 4 on the shot clock. Marble trying to draw a foul, doesn't get it. And it's a shot clock violation. So Fresno State's defense comes up big here with 156 remaining in a tie game.
Right, it's 2:30 to go when they got the ball, and they needed a big defensive possession, and there's nothing bigger than a 35-second violation.
11th turnover for the Tigers, just 6 for the Bulldogs.
Pacific's in zone. They just don't want the ball to go into Melvin Eli.
Roberson is looking into Eli.
Yeah, they're in a box and 1 on Courtney. They have a 2-man game going.
Alexander will take over himself and hit the big 2-pointer to give Fresno State the lead.
Yeah, and that's a shot that he earned. I mean, he took him off the dribble, and that was a difficult shot.
30-second timeout.
What you have to worry about here is Pacific, even though you're up 2, there's a minute 18 to go. They are as effective from 3 as they are from 2. So what it does is it stretches your defense. And when you stretch, now you get ducked in by the big guys. It's a lot more difficult to play.
About 2,000 short of capacity here at Spanish Center. Tonight's attendance, but a good crowd on hand. And again, a lot of fans wearing red here, supporting the Bulldogs.
Well, I think
57-55.
I think the 2,000 are the 2,000 extra fans they usually get from Fresno that come up for this game that went over to watch Pat's team. And I think that you have to congratulate the football team in 3 years, what they've done with the program, how they've done it, and obviously with the majority of the team coming back, you have a tremendous future for the football program. I know Jerry and Pat go back to UNLV days, and we certainly congratulate the football team.
Absolutely. The stat we're looking at here would be the 3 or more with 10 points in the game, because Fresno State trailed at the half. But looking to go 6-0 and 3 or more at 10 points. 1 minute, McKnight can't get the 3 to go, and he was open.
And Courtney rushed him. I mean, it wasn't an easy shot. He had to fake him. He had to Courtney go by him, and he had to rush for the shot clock. Nice possession by the Dogs.
Under 45 seconds, and Bulldog fans on their feet.
And it looked like they were back in the diamond and 1. Maybe they're just matching up here.
Fresno State will run some time off the clock.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Jerry call a timeout, and there it is.
Good call, there it is.
Yeah. Didn't have much going. 14 on a shot clock, passing the ball on a perimeter. You got a 1-point lead. 14 on the clock, 31 on the game. Why not call timeout? Make sure you get a good one.
Bulldogs leading by 2. Team fouls. Pacific has 6. Fresno State 5. Melvin Eli leads Fresno State with 15 points. Alexander has 13. Abney with 11. Do you look for a guy like Courtney Alexander here?
I think what they might do, Ralph, depending obviously on what Pacific does, what they might do is run the same thing they ran last time, where they bring Courtney from the ball side, get him the ball on the opposite side where it's a 2-man game with he and Melvin Eli, and now they have to guard Courtney, they have to guard Melvin, and you're going to get 1 of the 2.
Listen to the fans. These are Fresno State fans you're hearing.
They're in a 1-3-1 zone with their big guy out front. Tough match for him.
Alexander to Irvin. In and out. Rebound, Hahn. Good shot. And a timeout called by Pacific. Tigers want to talk it over with 15.5 seconds left. Fresno State leads by 2. Boy, if you're Pacific and you talked about the three-pointer for them being as good as a 2, do you go for a win?
Well, you know, normally the coaching philosophy is you go for the tie at home and you go for the win on the road. With the season that Bob Thomason's been having, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm sure he's telling his guys that we're going to run our regular offense. They're going to set up whatever play they want. They have about 25 of them. And if they can get a 3, they'll take it. But I don't think they'll mind going into overtime. They've been playing well this game. They seem to have a pretty good rhythm going. They're defending pretty well. They're mixing up their defenses. They were in a 1-3-1 zone with Hahn out on top last time. I wouldn't be surprised if they certainly would settle for 2. If this game were in Selland, I'm sure they would shoot the 3.
Pacific is 7 of 25 on three-pointers, 6 of them by McKnight. You see the situation. We're in the final under 10 seconds now. Masters draws the foul. He'll go to the free throw line, shooting 2 with a chance to tie.
What that was, which is a little surprising to me, Ralph, was a clear out for Masters. What they did was they ran everyone to the left side of the floor. They brought Masters up to the right, what they call the elbow, the line. Here it is right here. That's the end of it. You can see he's cleared out. He has the entire side of the floor. He has Terrence Beaton. Terrence reaches in and fouls. I'm not sure that may be what they wanted. He's only shooting 43%. He's 3 for 7 on the year.
4 for 8, and he makes the first one. The Bulldogs will try to ice him with a timeout.
It seems a little surprising to me that, they're going to call a timeout here to set up their strategy, but it just seemed a little surprising with the guys on the floor that they would run an isolation play for Masters, mainly because he's not one of their key guys. He's their 8th leading scorer. Or actually 9th leading scorer. He's only averaging 10 minutes a game.
And 2 points. And if he makes this basket, he'll have a career high. Or this free throw will have a career high.
Right, and what they did was they set it up to get the drive, unless they felt like they could get the old-fashioned three-point play out of it, which they almost did. But, you know, a good coaching move is one that works. And if he knocks this one down, then you can say it worked. But you still have 5.8 seconds, and I'm sure the Bulldogs are talking about blocking out on a miss, because if this one were to miss, you need to get the rebound and to ice this game. If it goes in, I'm sure they have something set up. Maybe just get the ball to either Nick or Demetrius, race it up the floor, and try to get a shot before the game ends.
Bulldogs do have 1 timeout left. 5.8 seconds remaining. Masters for the tie. And gets the bounce. We are tied. Fresno State chance to win it at the buzzer. Alexander, overtime. So Tark is going to see him go to OT, and we'll have it for you when we come back. Tied at 57.
You probably didn't know this, but back in high school, I had a major crush on you.
I knew.
I always figured you just thought I was Monica's geeky older brother.
I did.
Oh. But do you think it would be okay if I asked you out sometime, maybe?
Yeah. Maybe.
Okay, maybe I will.
Next Browns, Monday night at 7 on your station, Fox 26.
Welcome back to Spanish Center. We're headed to overtime. Fresno State and Pacific tied at 57. 5-minute OT period. Bulldogs were last in overtime at Birmingham. A game they ended up losing.
Yeah, I think that game was a little different in that the momentum was clearly in Birmingham's favor, and the Bulldogs did not play well down the stretch, played great for a majority of the game. Here it's been kind of the opposite, where they've kind of come back and in the game seesawed some, but have actually they've played better down the stretch.
Well, it has been close all the way. Fresno State's biggest lead was 7 as Eli controls the tip. Pacific led by as many as 5.
And they're in the 1-3 chaser, which is like a boxing one, but it's actually a 1-3. One guy on top, 3 guys down low.
Eli, right-hand hook. Abney with a rebound. Puts it up and in. Larry Abney.
Yeah, that's a huge rebound. And what Larry Abney did there, you'd like to see the Bulldogs do more often. The ball goes to Melvin Eli. He's being played one-on-one. You know he's going to shoot it. Larry Eli just rooted the guy out, knew the shot was coming off. And it's such a close shot, it's going to land close to the basket.
Boy, used the right arm as a hook around Eli. Didn't work. Loses the ball.
Could have been called a jump ball, really. Melvin had control of it all the way up. Now they're fronting Melvin. They've had enough of him getting the ball down low.
Alexander will fire for 3. And hit.
That's a huge shot right there, and once again, some of UOP's own medicine. Shot came with 9 on the shot clock, so the Bulldogs used a lot of time. Now have a 5-point lead, 3.5 to go.
Fresno State scores the first 5 points in overtime. Inside, Hahn lays it up and in.
That's a little too easy. That was just a screen at the free throw line, and didn't call it out, and didn't switch.
Fresno State leading by 3, approaching 3 minutes remaining in the OT, the first OT. Alexander hit a 3 the last time down. Working on Heiser, fires over Heiser. Hahn with a rebound as he and Melvin Eli had each other under the basket.
And that's another one. You knew that shot's going up. If those guys could have gotten inside position, Courtney Alexander may not make them all, but he's usually going to miss close to the basket. Great defense with the steal.
Fouled in the backcourt by Heiser.
And that's the second time that Heiser has committed an intentional foul, meaning that he intentionally fouled him. But it wasn't called an intentional foul because the rule is, I think we'll see it here, the rule is as long as you make a play on the ball, it is not an intentional foul. Now here you can see he wrapped him up, and that's kind of close because he made a play on the ball from behind him.
Well, the foul saved the breakaway opportunity for Demetrius Porter. He was down there ready to receive a pass.
Right, as in the first half, Noel Felix had a breakaway, and Heiser wrapped him up on that one.
Abney missed the free throw. The front end of the 1-and-1. Clark laments as we approach 2.5 minutes. 3-point Fresno State lead. We're in overtime.
So it turned out to be a great foul by Heiser.
Didn't cost them any points.
Bulldogs are switching on that, doing a pretty nice job. Eli's just doing a great job defensively, and he's playing about 4 different guys each possession.
McKnight has been very quiet. 4 on the shot clock. Turn it over. Courtney Alexander got a piece of it. Roberson ends up with it as we get to the 2-minute mark here left in overtime. Fresno State leading 62-59.
And they want a timeout. Yeah, I think as much maybe to rest guys as to run us. I think this is a full timeout. The first timeout of the overtime is a full timeout.
1:57 left in OT. 3-point Bulldog lead. Talk is going to talk it over. Fresno State trying to make it 3 wins in a row. Always a tough place to play here, at least for Fresno State. The record indicates for every team.
Oh, yeah, for every team.
In here.
Bob Thomason's record here, I think, over the past few years is 49-6. That indicates that it's a difficult place. Now, you're looking here at a 3-point lead, 1:57 to go, 24 on the shot clock. if you can get a score here, you may be able to force Pacific out of that zone.
As you saw, a timeout for each team. No fouls to give. Roberson. In and out. He and Alexander had their share of those.
Smart move by Larry Abney to throw the ball out because you want to take more time off the clock. You're not going to win the game with 62 points, but you need more time off the clock. I don't think the 62 is going to win this. I think the Bulldogs are going to need more. But it was a smart move to throw it out.
Over on the Bulldog bench, Nick Irvin is on his hands and knees watching the action. Alexander trying to take over. Abney fighting for the rebound and go to foul. Who are they going to get? Abney picks up the foul, and the Fresno State fans are letting the officials have it. We're going to the other end to shoot free throws. 4 fouls on Abney.
Tough call there for several reasons. One, it's a hustling foul. He went up and he tipped it. Courtney had a great shot. It just fell off the rim. I think we'll take a look at it here. You can see this is about a 10-footer. Just off the front of the rim. Larry gets a hand on it right there, then goes up, and boy, they get him, I guess, for diving on the floor on top of Hahn. But what it does, it puts Hahn on the free throw line, so the clock doesn't stop. Hahn is 8 for 12 on the year for 67%.
He averages 8 points a game and has 12 in this one.
He's played a real nice game for them.
13, that matches a career high. It's a 1-point Bulldog lead.
And
full court pressure.
UOP goes to the full court now with the trap. Boy, Porter was hand-checked and grabbed. Wow, that was a tough one right there. Heiser does a pretty good job of getting his fouls.
Under 50 seconds now.
Still in the special defense. There, Heiser finally got one.
Got a piece of Courtney Alexander. That'll send Alexander to the free throw line with 47.5 seconds left.
If the Bulldogs get fingerprinted after the game, you're going to see a lot of Heiser's prints all over everybody.
And there'll be some forearms, too. Those push-offs that we saw throughout the first half.
Yeah, we'll have some elbow prints on them as well. You're right. But once again, these are WAC officials. Reverse crew, WAC officials here and Big West officials in Fresno, as agreed to by the coaches.
Alexander shooting the 1-and-1. Looking for his 17th point. He's an 83% free throw shooter.
And as physical as the game's been played, Ralph, there are only 15 fouls called this half, 8 on Pacific and 7 on Fresno State.
Alexander is money in the bank, hits them both.
Yeah, they were right down the middle. Remember, you're looking for a three-point shot here, and they're calling time. Now you're 44 seconds. I think you still go with your normal offense, which for them is 3 first and then 2, because you still have plenty of time in the game, and you have guys on the floor for Fresno State. I think they feel they can foul and feel comfortable with it. But if you remember, they've been taking a lot of time off the clock, and if you take too much time off, you have 32 on the shot clock and 44 on the game clock. You're really, if you go for the 2, you're putting yourself, you're still down a point, and there's not too much time left. So I think if they can get an open 3, they'll do it. Really crash the boards. You might see Fresno State leak somebody out, because I'm not sure that Pacific will have the floor balance that they're going to need. But once again, Fresno State needs to have everybody rebound as well.
Pacific with a timeout left. Now, on 2 occasions coming out of timeouts, we expected them to go to McKnight, and they did not.
Well, I think they did, but Courtney Alexander did a nice job of defending. They ran that same isolation play.
Hahn with an obvious left forearm to Eli. It was right in front of Jim Stupin.
Yeah.
And it's a 1-point game.
Boy, that was wow.
I mean, blatant.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll get a chance to look at that, but they ran the exact same play, that clear out isolation play where they get the ball at the elbow to one of their big guys, and and let him go.
Watch the left arm, the forearm.
They run everybody to the left side of the floor. They bring him to the right side, right here. He catches it. See, he's isolated right there. Wow. Holy cow.
How do you miss that?
Mark Reichling was right in front of that. I don't know if he was screened off or not, but...
Well, they had Stupin behind.
Yeah, that
he was looking at it from the same angle we were.
Right, and there were 4,000 other people here who saw it. So this is one where you may have Coach Tarkanian sending the film to the supervisors and officials.
That kind of scares you when you tell me these are whack officials. We'll see them again.
That's a costly miss because now it's only a 2-point game.
Approaching 20 seconds, and there's McKnight open for three. Can't get it to fall. Hahn with the rebound, puts it up. He can't get it. McKnight throws it up. Blocked by Eli. Roberson with the rebound, tied up. And foul.
I'll tell you, Clay McKnight made that three. He earned it because that was deep. That was at least 2 steps behind the three-point line. I mean, that's maybe 2.5 steps behind. That's way out there. This is a heck of a rebound by Hahn, and Melvin gets a piece of it, and he gets more than a piece of this one.
That was a poor shot by McKnight. He had plenty of time to take that ball back out and reset.
I don't think he knew how much time there was on the clock. And once again, I think in practice, he doesn't see a guy like Melvin. Now, if he takes that, let's say, in a scrimmage situation, that shot gets to the rim. So, that's something where, you have a tough... that's just something that, you don't get to in practice, and here it is in a game.
Marvel with a little gamesmanship trying to come over and shake Roberson's hand, and Roberson says, forget about it, buddy. I got business to take care of. This is the Bulldogs' best free throw shooter. Now 33 out of 35 on the season.
Yeah, and this is the biggest free throw of the year for him right now. He knocks this one down. It's starting to bust. It's pretty much Fresno State's game.
Roberson hits them both.
Yeah, right down the middle on both of them. You like to see that.
10 seconds left. Kaiser picks it up, turned over. We got a breakaway opportunity for Alexander to close it out.
Yeah, that was great defense by the Dogs. Even though it was 4, they still did a nice job. I guess it would have been justice for McKnight to make that.
So the Bulldogs work hard in overtime and dodge a bullet to come away with a win in OT, their third straight, 69-63. We'll be back with more after this.
A thought for those of you married to your job. Every once in a while, have a fling with your wife. Royal Caribbean, like no vacation on earth.
When Drew shacks up with his dream girl,
ribs and ham,
she takes him for everything he's got.
What do you want, lady? The pump is dry.
Your anger is misplaced.
No. My car is misplaced. My money is misplaced. My trust is misplaced. But my anger is nothing but net. Oh, my furniture's gone.
I told you he'd notice.
But you can't take his phone calls.
Drew Carey, your bank is on the phone because you botched a check.
That's Mimi's job. Next, Drew.
Welcome back to Spano Center in Stockton, where Fresno State defeats the Pacific Tigers 69-63. We're waiting for head coach Jerry Tarkanian to pull in alongside so we can talk about this overtime thriller with the coach. And the coach has joined us now, and he's able to get your breath, Coach, after that one?
Well, what a tough one. I knew this would be tough. I always feel this is one of the toughest places for us to play in. And I think if you look through the years, Fresno does not win here very often. And last time we won here was last second. Chris Sarin made a driving layup when we beat Olo Wakandi. But Pacific played absolutely great. I'll tell you, we pressured them. We played really hard, and they stayed with their offense. And I'm just happy we won. We have 2 more games we got to get, and then we get a break, and then we got to regroup and become a great team. That's what our goal is. But I said going in, we had 5 games we had to get through, and we got through 3 of them. Now we got 2 more.
What a great team effort tonight, though. It seemed like everyone took a turn. Larry Abney made some big plays, getting rebounds. Courtney Alexander, like he wanted to take control at times. Terrence Roberson at the end with the big free throws.
Yeah, well, it was, we started off missing so many shots, and we got ourselves in a hole. And they're a hard team to come back against because they just run their motion so well, and they stick with it all the way through. And I thought our guys really played hard. We played so many games now, and I'm always concerned about fatigue, so we don't practice hardly at all. But our guys played with a lot of intensity, but we couldn't break them. We couldn't crack them. I give Pacific a lot of credit.
Now, Jerry, one thing we talked about in the second half, I know you mentioned in the locker room, was getting the ball inside to Melvin. And I know in the second half, when the Bulldogs came back, it was getting the ball inside to Melvin and Larry both.
Well, we got to get it to Melvin because he's a threat down there. Plus, he could pass the ball out also. But, Melvin is, in reality, Melvin has hardly practiced with us in the last 6 weeks, and he's still getting his legs and his timing and everything. But I'll tell you, he made some key blocks down there at the end of the game, and if it weren't for Melvin, I don't know, we wouldn't be a very happy group going home tonight.
Well, you've said often that he anchors the defense, and that was part of it. And I think that he showed his versatility, not only in the blocks, but how about guarding people 20 feet from the basket? He's switching out. He probably played everybody.
Switching out and guard. We took a gamble on how we were going to defend him. There's two ways of defending him. One, just pack it in and try to make them beat you from outside, or the other is to come out and pressure them and try not to let them run their offense. And we gambled that we were going to pressure them, and I thought our guys did a great job, but boy, they didn't fold. They just stuck with their offense. I really believe Bobby Thomason is one of the top coaches around.
Yeah, he does a great job. And we talked about this is a tough team to play because they're so physical. They make you run through screens. They're banging you, and then they're using that offhand pretty good.
Right. Oh yeah, they pushed off on a dribble all night long. But the thing that makes them tough, they're tough here at home. They're usually not very good on the road. If you look at their record, of course most teams are that way. They're good at home and not tough not very good on the road. But this was a road win for us. I'm really delighted with it. We got to go home now, and we got two more we got to get, and then we get a chance to regroup, and we get our guys in shape and get our guys healthy and get our timing and our execution down. And I think if we can stay healthy, we'll be good.
All right, Coach, thanks for joining us. It'll be a good bus trip home tonight with a victory in overtime here at Pacific. Time now for us to take a look at our player of the game, and that is going to be Melvin Eli, brought to you by Sunmade, the world's favorite raisin. Melvin Eli with 15 points, 4 block shots tonight. Player of the game brought to you by Sunmade, the world's favorite raisins. We'll be back with more right after this.
He knows that you've been naughty. He knows that you've been nice. Now it's payback.
I'm going to shove coal so far up your stocking you'll be coughing up diamonds.
And you thought your holiday was stressful. All new Holiday Futurama Sunday at 8/7:30 Central on Fox.
I've enjoyed being Santa Claus at the mall.
Miss Gorbash is a wonderful Santa Claus.
He cut my face